Hello everyone. Let's start the fourth chapter of political science named Social and Political Movements. As we all know, there are so many social and political movements happens in the past. Even today or even in future it will happen because the changes that happens in our society sometimes it requires the people's movement in different field or in different period or in different aspects. Like what exactly is the movement? When we say the mass participation for any social issue is called as the movement. Even like we know, our India's freedom struggle was also a very huge movement. In this way there are so many big and small movements happens in the past, so we will also discuss about the few important movements that happened in the past on the different topic or based on the different period. So first, let us understand what exactly is the movement. So here we have a certain kind of information. You can say it's a newspaper article. Just read it out and figure what kind of movement they want to do or what can information we get from this newspaper article. So it says movement against child marriage has been successful to a great extent, and the extent of child marriages has reduced by 50%. The workers in this movement worked very consciously. So what does it says? As we all know, child marriage is one of the biggest issue in our country in the past, but nowadays it has been reduced. So it says that the movement that has been started to stop the child marriages had successfully, you can say, performed well. That if you see the numbers, now it has been reduced by 50%. So it makes sense the workers who are involved in this movement, they had worked consciously. Consciously means in a very dedicated or in a proper manner. Workers from the movement against dowry also help them. So even we had seen many times the two different movements also come together because they all are the welfare of the society. So like a few group or few people who are involved in the movement that are against the child marriage, so if they come to know about the movement against the dowry or any other issues that creates a wrong situation in our society, then they can also have a collaboration with them or they can also join that group. So workers from the movement against dowry also help them. So it is a interrelated because it's a work of society. Now there is a need to start a drive against malnutrition. So there is a need to start a drive means to need to start a movement against the malnutrition, because it is also a very serious issue, because poverty and malnutrition are two important problems to be taken on priority. Yes, it is very much important, we need to look on it because it's a very serious problem. Okay, understood? So in this way we can come to know about the different movement. For example, many times if we face any kind of transportation issue, or many times we face any kind of water supply or the electrification supply, so at that time we approach our authorities, we make a group. Because if you individually contact or you approach the authority, they may don't take your words as seriously as you were in the group or in a mass. So that makes a different impression or the different impact on the authorities to take the concern, because you are not fighting for your own, you are fighting for the society. In the above newspaper item, different movements are included. Can you explain their meaning? Yes, we had already discussed it. This news deals with different subject. Are movements related to only one issue? No. Movements can relate with the different issues. If different movements cooperate with each other, will they be more effective? Yes. If different movements are cooperating with each other, then there will be a more effectiveness. In the last chapter, we got information about the national and regional parties. As we all know, in third chapter we had learnt about the political parties, and in our country we had criteria based on the performance of the political party, whether they are the national party or they are the regional party. So we had a different numbers, like we for the national party we have the 7 national parties, but regional parties we have a multiple regional parties. So based on their performance and the number of seats they get in the different elections, why these political parties are necessary? As we all know, we are living in a democratic nation, right? And not only in India, in any democratic nation, elections are very much important, right? And for elections we need a political party, we need a choice, we need a representative. In the same way, political parties work for the welfare of the people, but their main approach is to gain power, so that with the help of that power they can bring the change in the society as per their plan, as per their agenda, right? They have their own aim now. So in this way, there are also few non-political groups which are created on the thinking of same, that they should also give support to the society. This kind of societies or this kind of organization, if you had seen nearby your school or by your home or even within your community also, many times we had seen our complexes or our society have a different group or the organization. They will work for the welfare of the society, and they even arrange the different festivals, different events. So in this way, we need a group, we need a group participation. In the last chapter, we got information about the national and political parties. Political parties compete for political power. As we all know, they need to compete for the political power, and they need to come in power so that they can work accordingly. They win election and try to resolve the problem of the common man. Political party generally adopt a comprehensive perspective. What is comprehensive? Broad, huge. Perspective means view, thoughts. They cannot concentrate on just one particular issue. Yes, political party can't concentrate on a particular issue. From public cleanliness to space research, they need to think about all the aspects. For example, as we had seen, if any group has been organized for any issue, so they will basically focus on that issue. But political party need to work or need to focus on all the aspect, right? Maybe it's a drainage, maybe it's any kind of military issues. So they need to work at all the level. They cannot concentrate on just one particular issue. From public cleanliness to space research, they have to take into consideration all matters from national perspective and take decisions. Political parties are expected to have a program for the problems of all the section of the society. So they need to prepare a program, they need to prepare a plan, how they will bring the change in the society, how will they overcome with the problems. Political parties adopt policies taking into consideration the interest of all farmers, laborers, businessmen, women, youth, and senior citizens. They need to plan accordingly from the different sections of the society, maybe the businessmen, maybe the youth, maybe the senior citizens, women. Even we had seen, we in our country we have a different caste system. So in this way they need to look upon it, that the education field, the medical field, or the transportation development, national economy, everything should be improved and it should work smoothly with the cooperation of each and every field. So that is the main responsibility of the political parties. So why we need movements? Why movements required? All the people in the society cannot participate in political parties and contribute to social welfare. Yes, it's true. Everyone can't participate in the political parties now. So that's why we had elected our representative. They represent us. They represent the people in the parliament. They work, they ask or they demand on behalf of us, right? They fulfill our needs, right? So we all can't participate in the political parties. So we had make our own group or own community, that we should also contribute for some social work. All the people in the society cannot participate in political parties and contribute to social welfare. Some people focus on a particular issue and pursue it. Pursue it means to follow it. So it depends upon the choice. Some work on the cleanliness, some work on the child labor, some work on the dowry system, some work on the poverty or the better medical facility. So it depends upon our own choice or the interest basically. So if you are interested in any field, then you will pursue it, you will follow it. They organize people means they gather people, right, from the different fields or the different section, because we need a group, we need resources. They organize people and try to pressurize the government to resolve that issue, right? Because if we raise our voice in a group, then government also heed to it. They constantly follow up on the issue. Follow up means reminder. What do you follow up? Follow up means reminder, to chase that issue. For example, if you had given any application related to the proper electrification, so if it's not getting done in a specific period of time, then you will follow up to the authority that I had applied this thing on that year, on that month, on that day. Then I want they update on it, or whether it was under process or why it was not done. So this is called the follow up, reminders. They constantly follow up on the issue, build public opinion about it, and thereby put a pressure on political parties and the government. And in the same way, they put the pressure on the political parties. Sorry, in this way, political parties put pressure on government, because political party work as a bridge between the government and the people, right? We can't directly connect with the government, or government can't directly connect with the people. So political party works as a bridge between us. This type of organized activity is called as movement. What is organized? Organized means planned. So this kind of planned activity is called as a movement. Organized activity is the essence of any movement. So for any movement, organization or planning is very much important. Such movements are very important in a democracy, and in democracy it is very much important, because in democracy everyone should get equal opportunity, equal status. So if someone getting any problem, or any society or group getting any problems, that it needs to be resolved. Such movements are very important in a democracy. Different social problems come under discussion through this movement. Different social problems come under discussion through this movement. When we plan for any movements, and we have a proper reason to which needs to be improved, or what kind of social welfare needs to be done, the government then has to pay attention to such problems. So at that time, government needs to pay attention to such problems. Leaders and activists of the movement provide necessary information about those issues to the government. So it is a responsibility of the leader to provide the proper information to the government or the authority about that issue. So for any movement, we need a good leadership. It is very much important. For example, you can see the role of Mahatma Gandhi in our India's freedom struggle, right? Being a supporter of non-violence, how he had functioned it in a proper way, that British should heed or listen to the demands that made by the Indians or the Mahatma Gandhi. We had learned the story in the 8th standard, right? And also we've seen so many movies based on the freedom struggle. Leaders and activists. Activist means the persons who are involved in the movement. The leaders and activists of the movement provide necessary information about those issues to the government. This information is very useful for the government while making policies. Yes, if government will come to know about the problems or the issues, basically the requirements of the people, then accordingly they will make a plan or the scheme for the people, or the welfare plans. As we know, for example, if government needs to improve the employment opportunity, if government needs to improve the education system, then he should aware that what are the requirements that public need. So it's the responsibility of the leader that they give the proper information to the government. Some movements aim at opposing a particular decision or policy of the government. So many times the movement has a kind of aim to oppose the planning of the government or the function of the government. Opposing someone doesn't mean that we are going in a wrong way. because it's our need, it's our demand that needs to be fulfilled. Some movements aim at opposing a particular decision or policies of the government. The right to protest is considered an important right in democracy. So, the right to protest, as we all know, being a human being, we are given so many rights. There are a few fundamental rights and a few basic rights. So in the way, right to protect is also as an important right in democracy. However, this right needs to be used patiently and responsibly. Yes, it is very much important. Since you had the right to protest, in the meaning of protest, to raise our voice against any authority or the government, so it doesn't mean that you scold them, you use abusive word. You should do in a proper systematic manner, in a very calmly and in a patiently or in a very systematic way. So you should use your rights in a proper way, right? Never misuse your power. So what is a movement? Movement is a collective action. What is collective? Collective means group. इन मोमेंट वी नीड अ ग्रुप. ये कोई अकेले की बस की बात नहीं है. यहाँ पे हमें एक प्रॉपर ग्रुप होना चाहिए जो एक दूसरे की बात को सपोर्ट करे. दैट इज़ वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट, राइट? व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग एनी इशू, द मेंबर्स शुड ऑन दिस सेम प्लेटफॉर्म, दे थिंक ऑन द सेम वे. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारे ग्रुप में ही एक दूसरे का सपोर्ट नहीं है, देन वी कांट अचीव दैट. रिमेंबर वी हैड लर्नड in 8th standard the example of extremist leader and moderate leader. They both are working for the India's freedom struggle, right? But again they have a different view, different thoughts, that created a rift between them. We don't want that thing. A movement is a collective action. People's active participation is expected in this movement. Yes, people means the members who are involved in such kind of activities, they need the support from the people. In today's world, you can see there are so many hashtags happen in Twitter or in the on these Instagram, and many times you had seen with the help of social media, people also give support to any kind of issues. So in past, like we don't have social media, then again people's participation also required. Even you had seen the story of Mahatma Gandhi during his non-cooperation movement or quit India movement. So at any rallies or any satyagraha, people should require. A movement can be formed when people come together in the interest of a particular issue. So any movement can be formed when people come together on a same particular issue. For example, it may be the pollution, population, or the terrorism, right? Or the infunctionality of the government or the democracy. Pollution can be a single issue for which a movement can be done. A movement has a particular social objective or a focused problem. Yes, every movement should have a social objective or an objective aim and a focused problem. Focused problem means kind of the focus on that problem, what exactly needs to be done. Without aiming to the target, we can't proceed further. For example, movement against corruption aims at ending corruption. Why we fight for the corruption? Fight against the corruption because we want to end the corruption, because it creates problem in the society. Why we are fighting against child labor? Because we had seen child labor or child marriages destroy the life of that child. In future, it won't get much what needs to be required. Correct? Movements have a leadership. Yes, it is very much important. A good leader will give a good proper direction, a proper way, a proper aim to the movement. Movements have a leadership. Leadership keeps the movement active. So it's a quality of the leader that keeps the movement active. Like we had seen in our political system also, like how a president or prime minister gives a proper thought. Objectives of the movement, program of action, strategy. Strategy means planning. Of agitation are decided. Agitation means to show our angerness against any issue or any social problem. So that needs to be planned. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप डायरेक्टली जाके तोड़ फोड़ करो, आप किसी को भी मार के आओ. नहीं, you should have a proper planning, what kind of our action or what are the slogans. Again, you no need to use such abusive or the unethical words. Unethical, understand, na? Illegal things. So there should be a proper systematic planning or aim. A strong leadership makes movement effective. Yes, it is very much important. A proper leadership or a strong leadership makes the movement effective. Movements have organization. Without an organization it becomes difficult to follow up the issue. So every movement needs a organization, a team of people, a group of people, and without an organization it becomes difficult to follow the issues. So it won't be possible to raise your voice without the support of the people or a group. So you need a proper organization. For example, farmers organization works for the farmer movements. It's just an example. We had seen there are so many protests done by the farmers even in the past or in the today's time also. So they need a proper group, proper organization to raise their voice against the policies of the government. Any movement requires public support. Yes, it is very much important. Any movement requires a public support. Any movement need a mass, a group. Any movement requires public support. People should feel connected to that issue that is undertaken by the government, and it is very much important that people should get feel connected with that movement. For example, if you had started any movement and people don't feel that कि भाई इससे हमारा क्या फ़ायदा होगा and what kind of benefit will I get from that movement, so does people will support you? No, they will never support you. So better if your movement is genuine, that think on the view from the people's perspective, that people should also join and they can be part of that movement. People should feel connected to the issue that is undertaken by the movement. Movements have a program of action. Program of action means a planning which help them to shape public opinion, and they need to shape the public opinion to give them a proper motive, proper aim, what requirements or what needs to be changed on the uh, way they perform in the movement. So these things are very much important for any movement or for the any kind of activity. Clear what is the movement, what are the movements, and why movements are very much important.